get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll put it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you. Choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll put it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
Back. Hello, my good peoples. How are you today? How was everybody this fine day? Grandma, are you still? She'll be back. Grandma will be back. Sound check in 30. Okay. What? Okay. Good. Okay. We are back to Treehouse Murder Case. If anybody didn't know what that is, I'll explain a little bit of it. And I got my my partner here, Grandma, my partner in crime. Okay. Me and her have devoted a lot of time into this case. We have looked at over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of documents, all the body cam footage that's out there. And it's about a man named Matthew and Paula. Matthew lost his life, and Paula is a victim of that crime. There is 3 people that committed this crime. One, his name is Detroit, goes by Detroit, and then there's Travis, and then there's a masked man. They don't know who it is, but this case has been going on. This is year number 7. Franklin Tucker, they're accusing him. Well, he'll go by Ty. He goes by Ty. They've been trying to. Grandma, come help me.
Yeah.
What are they doing to Ty now? So
Well, they're prosecuting him.
Yeah, but there's no evidence.
Right.
And you see, that's a big thing that we're on, is there's really no evidence at all. And
so many stories of others, witnesses and such have changed. You know, because Rory said it was not Ty, then Rory said it was Ty, then Rory said it wasn't Ty.
Right.
And Rory's in jail, and now he's thinking it is Ty. And it's like, oh, just, you know, you're not a good witness. He's not a good witness.
No. And
he just lies.
Oh, what else was I going to say about Ty here? Oh, the reason why we got into this case, because here we had a man that was going to represent himself. We're like, oh boy, here we go,
Yeah.
Daryl Brooks. But look what happened. A mistrial.
Well, yeah, you got to be unanimous when you come to a decision like that. And that's the thing, is I don't think that they can.
Well, and the state didn't like that. They wanted to, just a man in a regular life, right?
Right.
And so also
And-
there's
Go ahead.
two people that's in this case that me and Grandma have been talking to. One is, his name is Todd, and the other one is Detroit. Okay. Detroit is a very, very scary individual to me, but we'll get to him at a later time. But I'm going to be extremely careful what I talk about, because I'm not going to ruin anybody's court case. Is that right, Grandma?
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
don't want to affect it at all.
No. And see, the way me and Grandma do things, we want to hear all sides. All sides.
And just because I hear a side and can repeat, what that perspective is, does not mean I necessarily agree with it in my own personal view. I
Yeah.
can look at it all and say, okay, this is what it looks like, but that doesn't mean that that's what I'm thinking.
Right. Especially when it comes to this case and the characters involved, and people have passed away, people are in jail. I mean, I'm telling you.
These people were all known to each other. The people in this case were all known to each other before this incident happened. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting. And there's a lot of things that the victim said that disagreed with the cops' narrative.
Corruption.
And there was a lot of things that the cops said that and did that were questionable, shall we say.
Right. And Monroe County,
Unethical.
full of corruption, huh, Grandma?
Well, it's unethical behaviors.
Yes.
So, in my mind, if I'm sitting here being juror at home, couch juror, I'm not going to listen to a whole lot of their testimony if they've been lying.
Right.
Even if they're a police officer, it doesn't hold a lot of weight with me. You're a liar. You're a liar. And you got to wonder why some of these people have said and done what they've done. The people in power.
Very scary, because just think, if Ty wasn't able to get out, he got out on a $2 million bond. If he wasn't able to get out,
He'd still be sitting there.
yeah, he'd be convicted. Yeah.
Yeah.
So another reason why we're going through this, he has a status conference coming up March 11th at 9 a.m. Okay, not too sure what that's all about. I'm thinking maybe he's trying to revoke his, his bond or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh, let me show you something interesting. Look at this. Hold on. Hopefully I got it. Hold on.
I'm just still ticked off at how the prosecuting attorney for the state and the judge treated him because he was representing himself.
Yes, they did not like that. And Dan Mansfield, the guy that was prosecuting the case, he's a big baby. He keeps looking at me. He keeps looking at me.
He just made himself look horrible.
Yeah, like an idiot.
If it wasn't his whininess, it was the outbursts that he had of anger. Really personal. He put his personal feelings into what he would say in court, and that really discredited him in my eyes.
Yeah. He
I don't
wasn't
think
even
it was professional at all.
No, he's not even comfortable with his own case.
still want to know why he was a judge and then was not a judge so soon after.
I know, right?
Yeah, why didn't people just reelect him if he was so good, Sort of
Oh,
took a little demotion.
right. Okay. Oh no, where's it at? Oh, maybe I can find it at a later time. Anyways, Ty's got that whatchamacallit on him? What's it called? I can't even think. He's out on bond, but he's got that tracker on him, right?
Oh yeah, he's under house arrest.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if they're trying to revoke his or not, or if he's trying to get it where he, is able to, not have one no more. I'm not 100% yet. And what's funny, Dan Mainsfield, somewhere in a motion or whatever, he puts a note in there. He goes, it should be noted that they weren't able to track him or get a hold of him.
There was a period of time, like a few hours or a couple hours or something, where they were unable to track him.
Yeah.
And it was not because he pried the thing off his leg or something,
Well, they made it sound like he did it on purpose because it was the following day, actually. And they said that he didn't, or it didn't charge right. Something's wrong with the charging thing.
Yeah.
But they made it sound like he did it intentional, that he did it. Come on.
You didn't charge it properly so you could take it off so that you could, get away with something. Well, what? He showed up for court the next day.
The guy is facing life without parole.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Conspiracy to commit murder. I mean, it's serious. But he still hung around and showed up, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Okay, and Detroit. We will get to Detroit at a later time. Detroit was the co-defendant, and he got life without parole, but his DNA was all over the place.
Yeah.
Then we got Travis the snitch, okay? He got 5 years, but he is a prosecutor's witness saying that Ty was there. So Detroit's saying he was there. Travis is saying he's there. And as for, never mind. I got to be careful. Shoot. Never mind. Scratch that. Grandma, if you hear that I'm talking about things I shouldn't, please shut me up. For real.
Shut it.
Well, yell like I do. Yell like I do.
Just think about what your point is before you just say it.
I'm trying my best. Be mindful.
Okay.
Well, because I will not ruin somebody's case. You know what I mean?
No, and I don't want anybody's case to be ruined. I really don't. I want everybody to get a thorough, just trial.
Hey, and I know for a fact somebody out there is watching us. It may not seem like it, but you know what? We're bringing out corruption to people in this
that's
case.
the whole point.
Yes.
That's my whole point. I want justice. So,
right.
And here's a little personal thought from me. Nobody else, not Kit, not anybody. In that case, in Ty's case, even if he was involved, how are they going to prove it? You can't railroad a guy into prison for life because you think he's involved.
Yeah.
He's innocent till you prove him guilty. And if you cannot do that, don't try to railroad somebody and give them the worst time and, deny all their motions. Don't be like that. Because that's what I saw going on in his first trial.
Yeah, that was
I saw people cutting him off at the knees, and I thought, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that?
He wasn't
They're
able
afraid.
He wasn't able to have Penny Phelps, Matthew Pitcher, and Colleen Dunn testify.
No. And those were that was huge, those three.
Yep.
And what those three have done is despicable.
So he had to testify.
He had to.
Because he could get to Todd because
he didn't have time.
he had a subpoena, but the subpoena, they told him this, the subpoena ran out.
The
Ty didn't
subpoena ran
understand.
out, and yes, you're right. And then in order for him to get another one served, it takes so long to do that he wouldn't have been able to get it through and get it approved by the time that Todd would have been required to be in the courthouse to give his deposition.
Oh, and before we start, we're going to look at videos of Todd here, because, okay, I'm going to look at a couple of things that me and Todd talked about. Yeah.
Shut up.
I just want to be careful.
I got a bit slappy, man.
I know. Okay, here we go. Todd, I really like Todd. He's a very nice man. He's very well spoken. Detroit scares the hell out of me, though.
Well, he's a convicted murderer, so yeah.
Yeah.
He cut Paula's throat, dude.
Yeah, he does not like Ty, but you know that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to pin, he's trying to pin anything on anybody to shorten his own time. So I don't give him much credence at all.
Yeah. I got to find a picture of Matthew, but real quick, Paula was the other victim. Paula just passed away last week. Oh, Otis.
Sorry.
Sweet boy. Otis. Okay, we're going to look at Paula here. She passed away. Beautiful, beautiful, free spirit that she is. Hey, guys, this is really heartbreaking. Here we go. Anyways. Do you guys remember Paula Belmonte? She was a victim in the Treehouse murder, the trial that I just watched. And I didn't know her, but watching everything about her and what happened, there's a connection. Okay, she passed away February 6th. She was born December 29th, 1963 in Pennsylvania. She passed away in Key West from complications of COPD. She graduated from the Great Valley High School in 1981. She is survived by her 3 children. Let's see, who else? A niece and 4 nephews. She moved to Key West in 1999. She had many friends over the years. She was a member of United Methodist Church. She enjoyed volunteering, teaching Sunday, Vacation Bible School. She volunteered in the food soup kitchen, the food bank, and enjoyed ringing the bell at Christmas with the Salvation Army. She took some classes at the Lower Keys Community College and enjoyed the beach, key lime pie, and many things in the Key West. Her and her mother were extras in Rocky V movie filmed in Philadelphia. I looked, I can't find it, but I'm going to keep trying. She loved Willie Nelson. She met him 3 times. She enjoyed the band Modern English, A Flock of Seagulls. She had many high school friends and enjoyed spending time whenever she was in Pennsylvania. And yeah, okay. As of right now, there's no date for a memorial. Oh my gosh, this is so sad.
And you know, you have to say about Paula, she was strong in her convictions.
She sure was. It's her truth. Okay, and this is sorry, guys. Okay, I want to get to this. Hey guys, this is really heartbreaking. Oh my God, well, for me anyways. Am I having issues today or what? Her daughter, let's see. No, her sister. Okay, her sister. April 20th is going to be her memorial. Because this video I made a few days after she passed. I don't know. It was 4 or 6 days after she passed. She's being cremated. She's going back home to PA. What else does she say? She says, thanks. We are devastated, but we take solace and knowing she's no longer in pain. We tried to get her into hospice, but she refused. She lived by her own rules and left this world on her own terms. As a close friend of hers told me, Paula wasn't afraid of dying. Paula was afraid of being forgotten. So I'll ask everyone to remember her. And so I will do that. We'll do that, won't we, Grandma?
I'll remember her.
Yeah, oh, yes. Well, Spitfire that she is. All right, here we go. See, when I talk to Todd, he thinks there's only 1 or 2 videos of him and audio of him. No, there's more. Okay, this is Todd. Now, from my understanding, Todd is a victim / what again? Witness.
Yeah, he's a witness.
Yeah. And he called 911. Here, let's get us off the screen. So let's see what he has to say here.
Are you playing the whole video?
We'll see how that goes. We're not going to play all the other ones because they're long. But I want to.
This one's like 12 minutes.
I want to get to that. The lineup and the deposition. They haven't turned on the volume yet. That's not me.
Well, sure.
It sounds like a speaker crackling. They don't know how to use their here. Hold on. It's gonna be loud. Hold on.
Everything you're about to tell me is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge. Yes, sir. All right, if it's all right, I'd like to talk to you about tonight and fill me in on what happened. So far, I'm on the back end. I'm just trying to get caught up, okay? Start at the beginning, if you don't mind.
The plan was I had gotten, you probably noticed the piece, not really the door, but the piece of wood that's sitting at the top of the stairs and you never get to the thing.
Okay.
All I've been complaining about, people going up into her room or something up there when she wasn't there, and this and that. So I had that thing, I was going to mount it on the stores as like a solid door. You could have a hasp and a lock and stuff.
Okay.
You could lock it when she's gone, lock it even when she's there, so she won't be going up there. So that's why I was here today. And but I had the wrong hinges. The door was too heavy for the light hinges that I had, so I needed to get a new set. So Matt and I, a girl came over, and Matt and I watched movies and played chess, and we
Do you know who the girl was that came over?
made some chili. She's been there. She was there before. A lot of people. So it was just like.
See, isn't that audio awful? I do want to say also, Matthew, I got to find a picture of Matthew. I'm sorry, you guys. Matthew was his friend for 20 years, and he knew Paula for 15.
I would probably know if I saw her. Okay. So, anyways, she just pops in. It was one of April's friends, or it was one of the other girls' girlfriends.
Okay.
And came over. Matt and I made some chili, and yay. And then, so I had to run across the street to CBS. So I'm going to leave. Matt hears. Well, we hear this couple there. I think it's Paul. I hear help. I can't make it out. My hearing's not too good anyway. So I just hear a woman's voice.
Where were you at when you heard it about? In the yard.
I had already passed the thing and was fixing to go through the gate, and I turned back and I saw Matt come out and go up the stairs. Now I make it to here. Now I hear Matt yelling, "Help! Help!" I stand there. I see one guy come running out. Matt, blacked out. Shorter guy, lighter guy.
When you say shorter, like
My height.
understand that one.
Yep, exactly. Your height. But skinnier, way skinnier.
And when you say
Maybe 145, 155.
and when you say mask, can you describe the mask a little
Black
bit?
mask with a white imprinted skull, like a Skeletor skull,
Okay.
with 3 little lines coming off the each side.
Okay.
Black long pants, black shirt, long, black.
Was he carrying anything?
A knife.
Can you describe the knife for me? Can you size
Yeah.
one?
I mean,
Yeah, I know.
so anyways, he bends the corner right here. He doesn't see me on the thing. He bends the corner right there. Takes off his mask. White hair, brown, white guy, brown hair. So
you see what he did with the mask? Did you see what he did with the mask?
he kept saying. Then these boats were in the way, so obviously I'm standing right there. I can't see him. I see him right through here, where there's no boat. Right. As soon as he hits the bow of this, which is about that telephone pole, I can't see him anymore.
Okay.
Plus, I'm yelling now, and he starts to pick up the pace. He's getting somewhere.
Okay.
So I think it's over. I shoot off the wall. I make it up to the second tier. Obviously, Matt's face down in a pool of blood.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
I go to check pulse, check on Matt. I look up. Here's this other one coming down the stairs at me.
What does this guy look like?
Bigger,
White guy, black guy?
black. He said something that made me think he was black, but obviously he had a mask on. So
You remember what he said?
do I know you, or who are you, or I'm gonna get you, something you. I look at, and he's coming at me with a knife. He takes one down thing on me. I block my here. And he hits me in the pinky.
Right there?
I'm up. Yep, I'm up like this, and somehow the knife blade actually slid
Hold on.
in between my two fingers.
Hold on 1 second for me,
You see
okay?
there's a cut on this side too.
Give me a
So
second.
I felt the blade go through my fingers, bro. Like this, I'm up here like this, and it comes down through.
Do me a favor, just hold still for a second.
Which way?
Just where's the cut at? No, it's this. Did you also get your shirt? Was that there before? Is that new? You know what?
So, like that, he's on me. I roll away from him, and in 2 steps, I hit the bottom of the stairs. I'm on the ground. I roll up. I'm on my flip flops, and I run back across here again. And they say it's down. I'm calling them. And then I see.
It did not look like that this guy had. Do you remember?
Black handle, steak,
Awesome. What was
a steak. Best I can see because it didn't look wide or thick like a hunting knife or a blade. It was just like a serrated. I don't know.
Now you don't live here though. You're just going to do some work.
Yep.
You hang out here quite a bit.
Yeah, I do come here sometimes. No, I'm not. See, I'm not down here very much. I live and work in Marathon.
Okay.
So I just happened to come down for the offshore boat races last week, and was just stay online in order to get back up there. I was going to stay till Friday or today. I was going to leave today on the bus.
I'm sorry. Is there CC for their video? Who's that?
Click the closed captioning thingy up on the.
Oh, thank you. I keep forgetting to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Paula had been complaining about people coming up there, so I was going to mount the door for her. I kept putting it off. I kept catch a bus out of here and go back there.
I want you to keep that in mind, all right? And I'm not accusing by any means of anything. But I'm not a narcotics addict. I don't care. That's not my forte anymore. I'm here for, somebody gets stabbed, something like that. Now, obviously, I've heard rumblings and things that go on here. And when you say about Paula wanting the door up, do you know that she had any kind of beef? Why would she have beef? Who she had with?
Beef with that chick that just walked by, the one that rents the room in the back.
Okay, tell me about that.
And there again, from just being there intermittently, catching little bits of of what's going on. So I can't really put it together. But the last thing I heard Paula say, to Paula was that April was threatening her.
What was she saying? Do you remember?
That's what I'm saying. I don't really know
Right.
the specifics of what they were saying. I just got the tip of like, what's going on? Oh, well, they're fighting. She's there. So
Do you know why they were fighting? What it was over?
I'm not there really enough to know that much of it. That's what I'm saying. But
When
you
was
can
the
tell
last-
there was some bad vibes between them.
When was the last time she had talked about April threatening her?
The last time I was over there, about three days ago. I don't know. And then again, it wasn't like I don't think it was a physical violence threat. It was a threat of administrative threat. What's that about? By that I mean, he wanted to evict her out of there. She was going to call the county, and I'm not saying she was threatening her like I'm going to get you.
Right.
She's saying I'm threatening you to
Gotcha.
get you out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you.
Who's going first? Either you're leaving or I'm leaving. And then same with Matt. But Matt kind of took Paul aside. Then she jumped on Matt and was like, well, I'll get you too, and I'll call the city, and they'll shut this place down. You know, 'cause you know,
April has no rights to this
she
property at
rents a
all.
room in the back.
She does, rent. April does.
Yes,
Okay, so she usually lives here too,
yes.
right? Okay. Does
That's
she also
just-
live somewhere down there as well?
Well, I have no idea. All I know is that's the beef between the two that live here,
Okay.
Paula and April.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, and it wasn't like a. This definitely. I mean, I would if I had come since I wouldn't say that it happened like that.
Right.
But there was that. You know, but you never know.
I want you to do me a favor and think really hard about the two people you saw. I know it's traumatic right now. It's hard, but think it may have really stood out to you when you think back about it. Any identifying feature, anything like that. Earrings, maybe tattoos. I know it's dark, so that's a little bit harder.
Head to toe, every piece of skin covered. They get, but they.
Now the other guy.
I want to say they didn't have gloves on though.
Okay.
I know. I don't think I saw gloves. That's how because I think I saw the contrast between the blade handle and his hand.
When you were at the fight
Yeah.
with the one that was he wearing a mask at that time? Okay. I got
No,
you.
I saw the mask off was after he was facing away from me and going that way. He ripped it off. I could tell he was white,
Okay.
but 100%.
What was the mask like? The second guy was
They
wearing?
both had identical.
Had the same mask. Where did the second guy? Did you see where he went, or you were still?
I think he took a right. That's
went
why.
opposite.
That's
One
why.
went
When
that
she,
way, one
listen,
went
I
that
would have been here waiting on you, but he came here by her fucking self, dude. These and I thought. I swear to God, I thought he was hiding in the bushes waiting on me, trying to
You
get
said
me.
she came here by herself. Who came here by herself?
out.
Oh, I got
You know
you.
what I'm saying? After this dude, he hung back the whole time, dude. I swear to God, that guy left. It was like a minute. I was like, man, I better go check on that.
Okay.
He's still up there.
I got you.
I was like, I don't know if there was 3, I don't know if there's 4. I didn't know nothing. So I gave her my name. Remember? I said, I'm out of here. I don't know what the hell we're doing.
So, as far as you know, Paula got stabbed. Is that correct? In the neck.
Yes. That's
Did
what I
you
hear.
see her stabbed, or no? Okay.
I'm sorry.
and
I
then-
just called her phone at the hospital to see if
And
she
you
was all right.
saw Matt was stabbed.
That's gone, yeah.
Was there anybody else that you saw, or besides the 2 suspects that was there? Anybody else that was just hanging out?
I think there was one or 2 guys up there with her
Okay.
that were laid down. I didn't see them. I saw him when he came across the street. His shirt was ripped. He had a big knot on the back of his head.
One of the suspects or somebody else?
Somebody else. Somebody that was hanging out with Paula.
All right. So somebody was hanging out with Paula. They had a big knot, you said, on the back of their head. And
He goes, you told me. I was like, what happened to you, man? He's like, man, he hit me in the back of the head and told me to lay down.
do you know who that was?
He was standing right here. She was here when he walked out. No, maybe she wasn't here. I don't know. He may have left. I don't know.
No. I'm saying.
If he left. I don't know if he left before she got here. He
Okay.
might have.
Was
Paula
he
would
bleeding
know
at
who he
all? Was he stabbed? That you
No,
saw?
he was just had a shirt.
Okay. I got you.
I can imagine what it was like. I don't know.
Well, hey, I appreciate you talking to me very much. Pat, do you have a cell phone?
Yes.
Oh my God. These cops out there.
Stupid cop.
Don't know how to do an investigation or hold a camera.
305.
Calls again, 2112 for TOD for Lower Keys.
Hold on. Sorry. Okay, I think what we should tell the people also, there's really no reason for this except for there's one common denominator. Her name is April. Like Todd was saying. Remember, Grandma?
Oh, yeah.
April put the wheels in motion here to have Paula beat up.
She wanted to scare Paula into moving out of there so that April could move back in there. Because she didn't want to stay there at the same time, but she wanted Paula to leave.
Because we kept saying, why hasn't April been charged? What about April? What about April? And through us watching everything, reading everything, she died in 2018. But she didn't ever want to be interviewed with the cameras on. She got her way. She's the only person in this case that wasn't videotaped.
Well, and you know, I suspect that she was a confidential informant for the police.
Yeah, she got away with a lot. Okay, this is when Todd does a lineup, because he told me to watch that too. Oh,
Hi, Toby Schnoodle.
hi, Toby. How you doing? Have you heard of the Treehouse murder? It's quite the case. Okay, this is when Todd does the photo lineup here. And remember, these cops don't know how to do an investigation or work their cameras.
They're at the Publix grocery store.
Yeah. Did it say Publix liquor?
Yeah, they have Publix liquor too.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of it. Toby,
Yeah, I went to Publix today.
All right. I'm going to read this to you, the instructions for this, and then I'm going to have you read it and then initial it. All right? Before we go through with this. You know what you're about to do?
Yeah, we did one last night.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. So you've been read this before. All right. I'm going to read it again.
All right.
You will be asked to view a group of photos of individuals. It is just as important to clear innocent persons from suspicion as to identify guilty parties. The suspect may or may not be present in the group of photographs. I don't know whether the person being investigated is included in this group. Individuals presented in the photo group may not appear exactly as they did on the date of the incident because features such as head and facial hair are subject to change. You should not feel you have to make an identification. If you do not identify someone, I will have you designate the photograph of the person you have identified. Regardless of whether you make an identification, we will continue to investigate the incident. The photos will be shown to you simultaneously and are not in any particular order. Take as much time as you need to examine the photos. Since this is an ongoing investigation, you should not discuss the information or discuss the identification procedures or results. All right? You got that?
Yep.
You read it before. Do you want to read it again? You already know everything? All right. So do me a favor and just go ahead and initial right there. Okay.
See, what I'm going off of mostly is hairstyle, because when he took off his mask, he was going away from me,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I yelled at him, he turned. I saw a quick flash of the face, but I already know the only one that would even be close hairstyle wise would be this guy. No way he had big hair like that. No way he had long hair.
Well,
Just
remember
closely cropped.
remember that stuff is
That's subject to change.
it can
but
change.
That's really my identification, because that's what he was going away from me. I mean, he like flashed me real quick. I could never in a million years do a facial lineup. He was 100 feet away, glanced at me one time. I'm going by his hairstyle, which I know that's not a good identification, but it was. I didn't see his face.
Okay.
I mean, just for a split second. So I wouldn't even want to speculate
On this right here?
on any of them. Yeah,
Okay.
even the ones he showed me the other day. The other ones he showed me were all older. It was a younger guy, close cropped hair,
wasn't parted. It was just like all kind of like a fade around, you know, just kind of matty, bushy hair.
Okay.
But I mean, I really just glanced at his face from a long way away. I couldn't even begin to even. That's why I was telling him to take a picture. I said, you know, photo lineups aren't really they're really frivolous because I didn't really see it. And even when we were at the scene, they had the masks on.
Okay.
And so he took it off, and he just had like real close cropped hair, and just light sandy, you know, brown hair, and that kind of curly, you know, like thicker.
Okay.
And
All right. Well, in that case, right here, the photo lineup I was shown consisted of how many photos, and since you can't make an identification, I'm unable to select the photo as being the person who, and then write down the.
He sounds so disappointed. You know who's in that lineup, right?
I would imagine Ty.
Yep.
But see, Ty didn't have hair, man.
Oh, he had a goatee, but he didn't have a head full of hair.
Well, that's the thing. He would have recognized him then, huh?
Right. See, I was thinking during the trial, oh boy, they got some, you know, explosive evidence that he was there. You know what I mean? And they didn't. See,
They
and that's
didn't have crap.
That's a
That's
scary
my
thought.
whole point.
Yeah, that's scary.
You don't try to railroad somebody because you don't have somebody else and you don't have
Sign
evidence.
right there. It is
Hi,
the 22nd.
Danielle. Danielle's there. Hi, Danielle.
Hmm.
All right.
Thank you, John. Are you going to be up here for a while?
I think, you know, they got Detroit, so that's half the problem. I was kind of scared about some retaliation there, you know, as far as being, you know, witness. But yeah, that works up here.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Just
Okay.
let me know what area you're going to be at so we can reach out to you.
Okay, have a good night.
She just wants to sound important. That's mean of me. That is really mean of me.
Mhm.
Okay, now, Grandma, let's listen to this real quick. Okay. Because Paula did an interview with somebody, she wanted to tell her truth, right? Because they had a thing on her, order of protection. So she couldn't talk to Ty, right?
She,
Or gag order.
not-
Gag order. Sorry.
yeah, gag order.
Sorry. And she said Todd was involved. Remember?
Yes, but I
Oh,
think she misspoke.
That's what I'm thinking too. But let's look at that.
Do you have that clip?
Yep, I do. I'm getting it right now. I did have it ready.
I just think she was rattled and misspoke because it's a T name and it just popped out of her mouth.
Yeah, there's so many T names.
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go. Sweet lady. Found it. How you doing, Toby? This case is very fascinating to me and Grandma.
Oh, yeah.
Case people should pay attention to because it could be us. And that's a very scary thought.
Well, it's about our freedoms.
Yep.
Doc Justice here with True Homestead. Today we're sitting down with Paula Belmont. Miss Belmont is the surviving victim of the Treehouse murder story that we've been covering a while here at True Homestead. Miss Belmont, thank you so much for sitting down with us today to give us your time and tell us a little bit about your story.
You're very welcome.
Miss Belmont, just because of some of the issues that have gone on in this case, I want to make sure that we're clear here. You're here of your own free will, and you haven't been threatened or coerced in any way or offered any compensation for your interview today, have you?
Yes, I'm here on my own free will because no, I haven't been offered anything.
Okay. And you're just here because you want to be able to tell your story in your words for what you believe to be the truth, and you want people to be able to hear that?
Yes, I want justice for Tyrone.
Absolutely. Miss Belmont, being the surviving victim of this case, would you like to recount a little for us your recollection of the night that the murder occurred and that you were attacked?
Okay. I was up the stairs with my friends in the treehouse, which is more like a triple tiered deck with a little overhang, and we were hanging out when two people came barreling up the stairs. One jumped on me immediately, slit my neck, telling me that if I didn't give him the money, he was going to kill me. As he was beating me, I was kicking on the floorboards, yelling for help, and continue to yell for help. And as the two people that were there, the one I didn't really get to see because this other person was at my friend, holding a knife to my friend's throat, doing this to him to be quiet. As these two people were going down the stairs, my landlord Matthew came up the stairs, and Rory Detroit Wilson, the one who slit my neck, started to take off his mask, and Matthew saw it, and that's when he got stabbed and murdered.
Okay, so before Matthew approached and there was an incident with Matthew, Detroit or Rory Wilson is holding you down and had cut you.
Yes. Cut me with his left hand and was beating me with his right hand, punching the hell out of me.
And there's a second assailant that's there, and he's holding a knife to your friend. And that friend is
Yes.
Roger?
Yes. Now, I didn't know this at the time because I really couldn't see much past Detroit because he's a very big man.
Okay, so there were two assailants. One of them,
Yes.
you know for a fact, is Detroit. And
Yes.
he is
Even
attacking
with-
you. And then
Yes.
the other assailant is kind of dealing with your friend Roger and telling him to
Yes.
be quiet.
Didn't tell him, but shushed him
Okay.
like that. He didn't speak while he was up top of the stairs.
Okay. And then your landlord Matthew starts coming towards up the stairs.
Yes.
And at that point, both assailants leave you.
No, one was already going down, and like Matthew walked past him to come up. That was the person. I guess he had his head turned or whatever. I'm not sure because I couldn't see that. But as Rory was the one facing Matt when Matt was turning the corner to come up to me. So there was essentially one in front of Matthew, one behind Matthew.
And is Detroit or Rory, is he the one who attacked Matthew?
Yes.
So Detroit attacked both you and Matthew.
Yes.
Okay. And the second assailant, the first assailant, Rory Detroit, you know it was Rory Detroit, and he's a black man,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And Tyrone Tucker's a white man.
Yes.
Different body plan, different body build, different locomotion, everything.
Width-wise, height-wise, walking-wise, everything.
In the second assailant, I'm not sure that he's been 100% positively identified. Some people think it might be this guy, Travis. Some people are claiming it's Tyrone. But you know Tyrone, correct?
The police are the ones that claim it's Tyrone.
Okay.
And other idiots in the street. But, well, Detroit and Travis say it's Tyrone, too. After they used Tyrone as an alibi, and both of them were arrested, then they made Tyrone an accomplice. Originally, Tyrone was their alibi.
Originally, they said Tyrone was their alibi. Tyrone's not there. We were with Tyrone to give themselves cover for not being there.
Each one of them separately said that until they both got caught, and then they turned Tyrone into the next assailant when there was only two people there.
Okay, so the second assailant will assume or say for right now that it's likely Travis, but it could be Tyrone. How do you know that the second assailant was not Tyrone?
No, it's not Tyrone. It didn't match Tyrone's height or frame. I saw half of his body from the back. It's not him width-wise. It's not him height-wise. When Matthew went tumbling down the stairs, I heard the other person say, I think he's dead, or I think we killed him. It was not Tyrone's voice. I know Tyrone's voice.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tyrone has a very, very distinctive voice. I've spoken with him several times. And you might not have been very closely associated with Tyrone before this, but you knew Tyrone enough to recognize his voice.
Exactly.
In your recollection,
I actually didn't even remember his name. Was Tyrone? I don't think that's how I met him. But I know him enough that no, it was not his voice. It was not his size. Like I said, even though I only saw the back part of this person,
and you feel
that it wasn't.
And you feel confident that it was not Tyrone.
Yes, absolutely. And I have said that from day one or night one, however you want to phrase it.
So after the incident, the police interviewed you. How did the interview go?
Pretty much the way they decided they wanted it to go.
Did you feel that they tried to influence your testimony or get you to change your testimony or add something to your testimony?
They, like every time I tried to stick up for Tyrone, I was just shushed aside. The subject would be changed. Oh no, Paul, it didn't happen like this. You don't know Tyrone like we know Tyrone. He's manipulative. He's evil. They told me he's got this really bad criminal record. As far as I know of, I don't even think he has a criminal record prior. But every time I tried to stick up for him, the more I stood up for him, the more I got kicked to the curb, I guess you would say.
Did you feel that the way they were interrogating you in their investigation was improper, as if they weren't listening to what you were telling them, but were trying to insert their own facts that they wanted into the case?
Well, yes. Even down to day one, a drug deal gone bad. That was a crock of shit. There was never no prior drug deal that day gone bad. I don't know where all that came from. The same place everything else that their lies have come from. Tyrone happened to be staying in that warehouse that night, and that's how he got roped into it.
I read the transcripts in a lot, and there's so much going on, and it seems very clear for me there's a lot of improper things happening. I'd like to assume that it was malicious, but I don't know that, but it seems very clear that it's improper. So I want to ask you another question. When the police, so Matthew's been killed, you've been cut,
Yes.
there's a robbery, and there's people injured. The police come to the scene that night, and it's a crime scene, correct?
Yes.
Do you think that they properly collected all the evidence that was there?
Oh hell no! The blanket that I was attacked on wasn't even taken. For starters, there was blood everywhere all over that blanket. I was sliced on that blanket. I was beaten on that blanket. It was still on the bed, covered in blood the next day.
So you've been following this case quite intently, correct?
Oh, you're breaking up.
I'm sorry. I said you've been following this case since the beginning very intently, correct?
Yes.
In your opinion, do you feel that there's been other mishandling of evidence or improper collection of evidence or gathering of evidence?
Of course there has. In the real world, it wouldn't happen like this.
I agree. I noticed in the deposition transcript, the lead detective picture, he admitted that he had a sustained IA against him for, I believe it was 178 counts of mishandling evidence in this case. I'm not even sure how you have 178 pieces of evidence if you're saying they didn't collect the evidence, but that's what he admitted to. I don't know if it was several counts per piece or what, but that just seemed absolutely just unfathomable to me that it would go that way.
And it made no sense.
Paul, is there anything else that you would like to say about this case, or that you feel in your heart that you want people to know?
I want people to know that I feel that Penny Phillips, Colleen Dunn, all of them that are lying and try to frame Tyrone, I feel that they should go to jail for the same amount of time that Tyrone sat in jail.
So you're the surviving victim. You're alleging and basically telling me you swear that, I know you're not under oath here, but I think when we spoke before, you said that you swear on your life that it was not Tyrone.
Yes, on my life, which I almost lost. No, it was not.
And as you said before, your big motivation here is that you know Tyrone is innocent and you want that to be heard. So
yes, and if Matthew was alive, he would fight for Tyrone too, because that's the type of person that Matthew was. I don't want to see anyone in jail that doesn't belong in jail.
And being that you're so adamant that Tyrone was innocent, and you're so adamant that you want it to be heard that Tyrone was innocent. Have you and Tyrone spoken recently?
No, we're not allowed to. I had reached out, well, tried to reach out to Tyrone and reached out to Lauren, who I didn't know, for the plain and simple fact that once Tyrone was let out on bond at that ridiculous price, I was worried that Tyrone was getting in trouble for me being the person who he got charged with for tampering with a witness, because inadvertently me and Tyrone accidentally had lunch together. Like, we met up at McDonald's before Tyrone was arrested. Rory had already been arrested and Tyrone hadn't. And I happened to walk into McDonald's and he was in the back corner because he had just been released from being questioned. And he came up to me, and I mean, literally, we went outside because I was bawling, telling my story, crying on his shoulder. Oh, I got sidetracked.
It's okay. We're talking about the no contact order and you meet up with Tyrone.
Okay, yes. So then later on, when I find out that Tyrone got arrested, it said for witness tampering. And I was upset, thinking that he was in trouble for talking to me. So I reached out to Lauren, reached out to Tyrone, the Free Franklin Tucker page. I did get a response from Lauren on Facebook. I called. Now at this point, Colleen Dunn had been kicked to the curb like she belongs. And the new prosecutor, I contacted the prosecutor and said, I want to be able to Facebook and message back and forth with Lauren. Judge Jones issued a no contact order, which I'm trying to get lifted. I wrote a letter. Apparently you have to have a motion filed, but I now have a lawyer to help me so I don't get railroaded for doing things like what I'm doing now, talking to you, because that frame everybody down here as far as this case is concerned.
I'm sure of that, but I want you to know, I strongly believe, I'm not an attorney, I cannot give legal advice, but you have a First Amendment right to speak. I'm the media. You have a right to speech, press, and petition. If anything happens to you, if you have any retaliation or anything negative, please let me know immediately. You have all my contact information. I will find attorneys to hop on this if your attorney needs help.
Thank you.
So you said the judge had issued the no contact order. Do you know if the state had requested that?
No, I don't know. The only reason I found out about it was because Lauren told me. Lauren was worried that they were going to get in trouble for me trying to reach out to them through Facebook, which is why I got in touch with the state attorney, the new state attorney. So I don't know the details of it. I do know I'm trying to get it dropped because I would like to talk to Tyrone. Basically, I want to tell Tyrone I'm sorry for everything he's been through.
So you know the judge issued the order, but you don't know if the judge did that on his own or somebody had requested it.
I think he did it on his own because it's not just Tyrone. It's also against the other two.
Okay.
It's all three of them. Detroit.
You didn't want this contact order, correct? And you did not want this contact order, and you've hired an attorney to get it removed. Is that correct?
Well, I actually got an attorney, a pro bono attorney.
Oh, God bless.
That would help me. I didn't ask for it. I wanted. I mean, the other two were in prison jail where they need to be. I don't want nothing to do with them. But like I said, Tyrone was my friend. Tyrone still is my friend, even though we're not allowed to speak. But I want to be able to speak to him. I want to be actually able to speak to Lauren instead of just, I'm going to meet him. I want to meet Lauren. I would like to go out and give Tyrone a hug and just literally, like I said, apologize to him for the nightmare that he's been going through.
Lauren's an angel, and Ty has been put through a nightmare. I just wish all of us that go through these nightmares could have angels like Lauren. She's a force of nature I have absolute respect for.
Without Lauren, Tyrone would probably die in jail, in prison, because
Ms. Belmont, before I hop off here, I want to ask you one more thing. Now, you mentioned the witness tampering or witness intimidation. I know witness tampering or tampering with a witness was one of the charges levied against Tyrone. But
yeah, and that could be bullshit also.
Now, I agree it's likely bovine excrement. Where I'm trying to go at with this, though, is whether Tyrone, if somehow or another he did tamper with another witness, it was another witness. It absolutely was not you. Is that correct?
Absolutely no, not me. It was supposedly Detroit's wife.
Okay, but Tyrone or Lauren or nobody other than police have ever asked you to change your testimony. Is that correct?
That's correct. The police never really asked me to change my testimony. They just tried to sway me. Like at one point, Matt Pitcher almost had me questioning, like, well, could this really have been? But no, there was nothing that would make me say it was Tyrone. And I'm in a weird situation because two of them I'm going against and the one I'm sticking up for. So it's kind of confusing for the defense attorney.
Yes.
But that's the way it is.
So you're not just somebody who doesn't want anybody to ever be punished. People who are guilty and committed murder or robbery, you absolutely believe should be sitting in jail.
Oh, yeah.
But you believe an innocent man should never sit in jail the same way I do.
If I thought Tyrone did it, he can rot in hell like the other two, as far as I'm concerned. But Tyrone didn't do it.
Miss Belmont.
And I'm going to fight just as much as I can for him because he deserves to have somebody stick up for him instead of the crooked Bubba system down here.
Miss Belmont, I really want to thank you so much. I can't thank you enough with words for sitting down and speaking with me and speaking with my audience. We've been following this case for a while, and there's hundreds, if not thousands of pages. And when you go through it, it's beyond obvious of the issues, but it's hard to describe or get anybody to follow reading 500 pages. I think your words will really help a lot of readers understand what's going on and how egregious the conduct or misconduct of the state's attorney's office and the sheriff's office has been in this case.
Yes, sir. And I certainly hope it helps Tyrone.
Again, we thank you so much. If you need anything from me or you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. If there's any retaliation, I would want to know about it immediately. And again, God bless you. I'm praying for you. And I hope I get to meet you soon and buy you dinner.
Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you very much.
You're so welcome. God bless.
Wow, huh?
Yeah, that just makes me sad.
Right. I had to walk out a minute to my dad. Did she say anything about Todd in that?
No, she did not mention him in that one.
I think it was the other one then.
Travis, she mentioned.
Hold on. Do you recall that one?
Which specific one had her mentioning Todd?
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the interviews she did like inside the cop car, but I think it's because she was so rattled.
Yeah. Because remember, once we heard that, we're like, wait a minute. So then we went looking, in that direction too. All right. You did the lineup.
That's just what we do.
Oh, I don't think we've seen this.
See you later, Toby Schnoodle.
Bye, Toby. Oh, here we go. Todd was interviewed. Is he in jail clothes here? Hold on, let me look. He's looking really rough there. All right. This was 7/12/2018. They don't know how to work these cameras, I swear to God. Can you imagine being innocent and all that and going through this?
If they could ever get their audio.
I know.
And
there we go.
This all happened, but I also heard not specifically say she was going to set Paul up, but she mentioned on 3 different ways she was either going to videotape her and turn her into the sheriff's department. She was going to call the city for her city code or something for her living up there on the thing, or 3, she was going to get back at her. somehow,
Like physically or just somehow?
just set her up.
Okay.
So, you know, to the point where her, not so much as, you know, she didn't mention, obviously mention Detroit specifically, but set her up with her, you know, with her trade, which was, you know, that's the other thing I admit, Paula was up there dealing crack cocaine.
Okay.
And we all partook from time to time, myself included, Matt, everybody. So that wasn't a secret, but it all came to a head, I believe, when we put the eviction notice on April's door. So but also April is the one who also brought Detroit to the property initially, you know what I'm saying? So
And when was that compared to, do you remember when that?
it was in, I'm going to say no longer than a 2-week period, but I want to say quicker than that.
Okay.
I mean, I saw him one time up close and personal. He you know, came in and actually sat at the table when when you bring somebody to the property, you know, you have to sit down and introduce them to Matt and make sure he's okay with it, and that, so that's how the you know, initial, you know, ice breaking went. She brings him in, hey, this is my friend, you go on her background or whatever, on her faith, and so he stayed there for a little while. Got a bad vibe from him the whole time. Very creepy, very just, I don't know, just something about him. And second time I saw him in passing, going up to obviously there's a second tier on the treehouse, so he was down there smoking crack, and I would pass by him, and he would, you know, ask me to use my stem or ask me to use a lighter or something if he needed, or maybe a hit or something. He did ask me for some stuff, and but I was on my way to go get some stuff from Paula, and then obviously the third time is when I saw him the night of the murder.
That night, the night of the murder, when you say you saw him, how do you know it was Detroit? And by Detroit, you're referring to?
That's all I know him by.
All right.
Is Detroit. His
Can you
street
give
name.
give me a physical description of him?
Over 200 pounds, 225, very bulky.
Have you seen him since that incident?
No, I haven't.
Not even in jail?
Not even in jail.
Okay. Do you know?
Bald head.
Okay.
He was luckily he was in the box when that happened. He was in Alpha Dorm when I was down there. I immediately when I saw Tyrone, and they immediately transferred me out of there.
Okay.
So obviously the third time that I saw him, you had the first part of the story. You know, I'm down there with Matt.
Right.
We hear the struggle, the altercation with somebody up there. We both leave out. Matt goes up the stairs. I go out the gate. Then I hear Matt's distressful, you know, plea for help. I go back to the bottom of the stairs. I see Matt engaged in some kind of a physical altercation with a guy. Go up there and you know, see Matt, see him, see a knife. Guy turns on me. You know, says something, my name, Hollywood, which is what I go by on the street, and he turns on me, cuts me with the knife, tries to stab me, cuts me on my finger. I'm back down the stairs across the street. CVS call the cops. While I'm standing on the wall at CVS, I see him come out, or I don't know who it is. He's wearing a mask, was wearing a mask the whole time. And I see him come out, takes the mask off after he gets about, you know, 50 feet, 75 feet away out of the gate in front of the outboard motor mechanic place. And I yell again. He takes off running. This time I don't know that there's another person up there. I think back, okay, Matt, you know, now I got to go back and see. I go back in. Matt's on the second tier, face down, full of blood. I take his vitals, no breathing. I didn't feel a pulse. I hear Paula crying, whimpering, still up on the third tier. My attention goes to her now. I step over Matt or whatever, step around him, and I go up to third tier. When I turn the corner, I see Paula on the bed, and I see another figure on his hands and knees, like looking around on the ground.
Okay.
Okay, and I say, Paula, are you all right? And when I do that, the figure turns around, and it's Detroit. He's also got a mask on, but it's pulled up enough where I can see it's above his brow.
Can you describe that mask at all? You can pulled up.
It was a skull Halloween mask with I know I saw the outline of like the indentation, the eyes, the skull,
Okay.
with maybe some white stripes coming off of it, or other bone, like it was black and white. It's
Gotcha.
Pure black with the white outline of a skull.
And it was pulled up to.
It was above. It was
all above his eyes.
above his eyes, about his brow, like.
So you saw his face.
I saw his face.
All right.
So then he turned out and he
Did you recognize his face at that time? And
he recognized me, and he turned to me and said, "Hollywood, get the fuck out of here," and came to come at me. He had a knife also,
Right.
and then
Do you remember either one of the knives, what they look like? I know that's
just
a weird
shiny.
question. Okay.
I mean, they had gloves on too,
Yeah.
and I didn't see the handles at all. All I saw was shiny, and I saw Roger, his shirt was ripped, and the other guy there was another guy up there. He wasn't part of I don't think he was part of it.
There was another guy up on the third floor
Mm-hmm.
besides Roger and Paula.
No, Detroit, Paula, Rogers, laying there. It was Roger and Detroit were up there.
Okay.
When they all came in, he punches Paul in the eye, hits, I
You're
guess,
talking Detroit right now, or
I didn't,
you don't
I didn't
know.
witness this part.
Okay.
So, but I know Roger's up there
Okay.
because
I
after
see what you're saying now.
after the second,
Give me 1 second. It's just wanna make sure we're in your order. Sorry about that.
and I believe I think that's what his name is, Roger, and he
Okay.
works
I'm
at the
with
golf
you
course
now.
across.
Yeah, I believe I think you got the name right on that one.
Okay. Like I say, he's kind of laying on the ground, on his back, with his elbows up or whatever, and looking, and then so when Detroit makes a move at me, I immediately back down the steps and I'm gone until the female officer comes to CVS, and she tells me to stay there, and she goes in and clears the scene.
And I think we got a little bit sidetracked, but I just need to clarify this part. With the mask pulled up above the eyes, you immediately identified him as who?
Yes, sir.
As who?
As Detroit.
Okay.
And it's not like it was kind of like rolled up, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like sagging, like it was. It's hard to say. It was like, when he started moving, it was coming back down. It was, but yeah, I saw.
Was there anything else unique about him, or anything that makes him stand out?
Just bald head, which the mask was on the top, so I really didn't see that, so I really can't comment on that. But that was from before. I instantly knew. Just his little accent that he has, a northern accent, and
Okay.
And just his. I mean, I know. There's not too many
Right.
big black guys like that came there. So,
Okay.
but I
Grandma.
immediately.
You know
What?
you know what I'm thinking?
What?
Detroit stabbed them both. Both of them. Matthew and Paula.
Well, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Because of what Todd is saying about when he went up there to the top of the stairs.
Wow. See, I hope people pay attention to this story.
Referred back to the first time. He stuck in my mind pretty good because of I just got a creepy feeling about him from the very first time I met him. So
I've got to ask. The other times I've interviewed you,
You never talked about that mask being open below his face. Can you tell me why?
Just for the same reason I didn't identify Tyrone in your lineup. They weren't in custody yet. I wasn't sure what was going on. And as you know, Paula and I bounced around from hotel room to hotel room for 5 days, and I even left the Key West to go to Merritt. I was just terrified, just of repercussions.
And when you say you didn't recognize or you didn't identify, so that night I gave you the lineup of Tyrone.
I saw him.
You recognized him.
Yes.
Did you recognize him as the person that was there that night?
No.
No, but you did recognize him.
I recognize him, but again, like we talked about,
just can't
he
put
was walking away like a quarter and away shot when he took the mask off. And I keep saying I'm still not saying it was him, because
Right.
I'm not going to sit here. I can't
No,
testify to
I
that.
don't want you to do that.
I can't testify to that it was him, but I did see him in your lineup at
Do
the
you,
hotel when you came there.
Can you tell me again about that mask? Do you remember it?
The Halloween mask, it was
Yeah.
just a straight skull mask.
The one that
They looked,
the first guy that came down that took it off. What did his look like? Do you remember?
they were identical. They looked identical.
Okay.
Like they were no difference in either one. That's how I saw the first one, and then when I saw Detroit's was rolled up, I could still see the top half of that one, which looked exactly like. But I saw the full one. Whoever the first guy was, I saw the full one, and it's the full face of a skull.
Yep.
And little like white lines or something coming off, or maybe they were teeth, or
Gotcha.
maybe they were
Just
some
hard
kind
to
of
tell.
accents of something. But it was like raised, embossed white on a satin black, jet black mask,
Okay.
fully masked, gloves. They were blacked out,
Gotcha.
head to toe.
All right.
So
Appreciate it. Has anybody ever talked since that night? Has anybody said anything to you? Have you heard anything? No? Okay.
The only thing I heard was that there was a third guy involved that was driving a getaway car, and they referred to him as Travis. That's really the only.
Who's
about
they?
I really can't even remember who actually said it.
Okay.
But because it was just in the conversation of a thing. And actually, believe it or not, Paula and I jumped around in hotel rooms for 5 days.
Oh.
She was, we didn't even talk. I didn't ask her anything. She didn't ask me anything. We never, and that's the God's honest truth, we never talked about the case, which I thought was which I told you the first time. Every time I talked to you, it just it hadn't sunk in. It hadn't sunk in. It hadn't sunk in. And it's just surreal. It was just like, I don't know. It was weird that we both left. We never even talked about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to hear anything about it. And I, like we said, I just owe it to Matt to come out and tell you, now you got him in custody, and I don't, I'm a little more, although I'm a little more, confident that nothing, maybe, nothing's going to happen that way. I'm still going to be, as a person, I think if it comes out, it's a small town down there and everything, Hollywood testified. Does that make me a snitch? I don't know. I may be done in Monroe County. I might have to leave. It depends on how they take it. But Paul was pretty well liked. Matt was pretty well liked. It's probably going to be 50-50. Some people are going to say, I'm a snitch regardless. And some people will say, hey, you owe it to Matt to do it. So I'm doing it as owing it to Matt. If I'm construed as a snitch, then I'll just have to deal with that as it comes. Then I may have to leave. So, this is not easy. This is not easy for me to do.
Absolutely not.
So,
but I appreciate it. Appreciate you doing the right thing. The last part I got to get to here. You're up top with Paula, Roger, and Detroit. Detroit's mask is up. He's on the ground, kind of looking around, and tells you to leave. What happens next?
and again, I'm not totally up there. You got to remember,
the
stairs go up. You go up one flight, then it levels out. That's the second tier. Then you go up another flight, it levels out again, and you have to make a 180. And there's a little landing, a little curve, and then it goes up again.
Yep.
And then it flattens out again, and then she's back at the back. So,
Right.
but from the where it goes up and it comes around, there's maybe 4 or 5 steps. So standing there, you can see.
Can you do me a favor? Stand up and walk to what you think the distance is from this camera to where they were at. So I get an idea of.
It's about 15 feet, 20 feet. There's probably, double where I am right now from here to there.
Gotcha.
It's probably from corner to corner of this room.
Okay.
So
good enough.
I mean, and that's to the back, and she has a bed sitting there, and like I say, he was on his he was leaned down, and I didn't even put my foot on the first stair.
Right. You
I
went
mean, I
on
just
the
saw his
land.
ass when he was at first.
Yeah.
I saw her on the bed, crying, and and I saw Roger on the side, like his head was up, and as soon as I said, "Are you all right?" he flipped around and said that, and I was going. I don't even know if he came down the stairs after me. You know what? I never saw him leave the property. That's why I wouldn't go back with the cop, with the female, the first one on the scene. I wouldn't go back in there because I never saw him leave. I thought he'd still.
Gotcha.
I never saw him leave.
Okay.
So, he said, "Hollywood, get the fuck out of here," and I got the fuck out of there.
All right.
I don't even remember my feet touching the stairs. I was gone. So.
Did you said both of them called you Hollywood? Did you know Tyrone prior to that? Like you had a relationship with him or whatever?
I know Tyrone very well.
Okay.
Very well.
Gotcha.
And that's what another thing that
Okay, and I want to
strikes me. I don't want to, in that respect.
What up?
law enforcement or the people prosecuting Ty, they have never once contacted Todd.
Is that not stupid?
Yep.
Except that it doesn't fit their narrative. So.
Yep.
Because he's saying it wasn't Ty.
Wasn't Ty?
He knew Ty. Knew
Yeah.
him well enough to know if he was the guy at the top of the stairs that stuck a knife in his hand.
Crazy.
Fact, I didn't pick up on it that it was him
No problem.
at all. Even when he took the mask off, when he was, and I say again, I'm saying even
Who
when
was
the
the
guy
difference?
took the mask off, still I didn't recognize him as Tyrone, because his hair was, when I knew him, his hair was longer.
Okay.
And, like I said, I did 3-4 months with him in Marathon Jail. That's when I first met him.
Yep.
I got him a job. When I got out, he got out before me. When I got out after the hurricane, came back down, I got him a job. I worked with him. He was working day laborers on Stock Island at the park there, and I stayed with him at Cots. I mean, we hung out. We went to Shrimp Daddy's on the weekends and watched football and
So
ate.
he
I know him
would've
very
known-
well.
He knew you by Hollywood then.
That's nobody knows me by Tom
your
McQuinn.
actual name. just
Nobody
Hollywood.
knows me as that.
Gotcha.
Everybody knows me as Hollywood.
All right.
Very few. Crystal probably the only one. I mean, they know, but nobody says it. Crystal's probably the only one that calls me Todd. Everybody else calls me Hollywood.
Okay.
And,
Is there anything I didn't ask you that you can think of that I should have?
I don't think so. Just, in my heart, I'm thinking, that April had more to do with it than, I mean, for the timing and the knowledge. I don't know. Paula was pretty open with it also. I'm gonna tell you that, you know what I'm saying? She didn't try to hide it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't uncommon for me to go up there and her have they call it a cookie of dope and of crack and $1,000 or a wad of cash.
Do you know how much she had that night?
You know what? That's the other thing, is that I had just talked to her previously, because the reason I was going out the yard and not up the stairs with Matt is because the shrimp boats had a friend of mine from the shrimp boat had just came in and wanted some crack, and I was gonna come bring him some. So I called Paula right then, and I mean, we're talking 15, 20 minutes. I called her. She told me she didn't have anything.
Okay.
And so then my buddy says, "We'll come to the Hogfish," and we'll have a beer, do something. I'll give you the money. And then I said, Paula, I'm gonna go get the money. And then by that time, but it wasn't uncommon for her also to say that she didn't have anything and had it just to throw people off or whatnot. So I said, I'm going to the Hogfish to go get some money. Are you going to be ready when I get back? She said, yes. And so, and then this happened, but you know, and then April had been there the whole time, and then but she wasn't there at that time. You know what I'm saying? It was also weird, uncommon. It was weird, kind of, now that I think back on it, that she was missing. You know what I'm saying? She's always there, and then when that happened, she was nowhere around.
Okay.
But and happened to, you know, knew Paula had it right there, right then. So again, it's speculation, but
Right.
you know, when you spend as much time as I do there, you notice little things like that. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, because you're always on your awareness around cops, you know, CIs, this and that. You're aware of everything that's going around. You know, just like when Detroit was there, there's a new guy. Automatically, you're on your guard.
Right.
Because it's a new guy. Nobody knows him. She brings him right in. You know what I'm saying? And they're, you know, and I mean, they're fighting. Paul and her and April are fighting every night. Every night they're having some kind of a problem, and it was real uncomfortable. You know, because there was always drama, and I was like, man, what the, you know? He's like, I got to get rid of April, but she won't leave. You know what I'm saying? And it's not. So then that's why we put the thing there. She never really threatened me, but I tell you again, we put the eviction notice on the door. Paula signed it, I signed it, and Matt signed it. There was only us three, and then that happens to Paula. So
right.
You know, again, that's just my personal opinion. So I don't know. I think she had more to do with it than Beachy. I don't think Detroit would go there on a whim.
Right.
Not knowing, he doesn't know Paula well enough. He doesn't know her routine. He doesn't know her, you know what I'm saying, well enough to do it. I mean, you know.
Gotcha.
We're all there so much. If that was my, you know, if I was to do it, I'd know her inside and out. It wouldn't even have been a thing. And the other thing, they also know somebody that didn't know that, you know, look at her. Paula's 90 pounds, skinny. You have to hurt her. Matt's borderline autistic. He's not a threat either, really. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, the whole thing just didn't sit right with me. It didn't make sense. Like something bigger was going on. You know.
Gotcha.
So, but there was drugs involved, and that's what Paula did, and you can't deny that.
Right.
So if that's what it was, that's what it was. But
well, thank you, Ted. I appreciate it. I'm gonna turn this off now.
Okay. Now. Whoa. Oh, we never finished watching that part. I believe Todd 110%. His story has not changed. His truth has not changed. I should say.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. Very good man. And he's getting out soon, okay? And he even said it, I think, in this maybe. Let's see, when did he go back in jail? A year ago, I think. I think it's a year.
I think like a year and a half.
Okay, why is Detroit so badly wanting to pin it on Ty? I don't understand that. Detroit, it's all your DNA. Your DNA's in that damn mask. You're seeing, his wife is seeing taking garbage bags out.
And shaving his head.
Yeah, that too. Thank you. But he's very scary.
That's creepy as hell.
I know. I'm just thinking what he did to Paula. You know what I mean?
I don't think that was part of the plan.
But how did it become so violent? See, that don't make sense. If they just wanted to scare her, they didn't need to come with weapons, right? You'd think. I don't know.
They could have punched her or something, and she would have eventually figured out.
Yeah.
You know, they want her to leave. But I think it turned into something else.
Right.
And I think Rory's the only answer to that.
and Travis. But Travis is, working with the state. And remember him and Ty in the courtroom?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And here's Ty all mellow. And here he's getting under Travis's skin. It's comical.
Hey, I'm sorry. When Travis showed up in shorts and sweats and shit like that, I mean, this is court. Hello.
I know. Hey, do you know that judge, the new judge that took over the case, right?
Yeah.
He put on his court, Judge James Morgan, on his what the hell am I going to say? On his docket, it says courtroom attire, whatever. It says you cannot wear shorts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mandatory suits
yeah.
and proper court wear.
I've never seen anybody wear beach shorts to
because it's not appropriate.
I know, right?
God. Yeah, at least wear trousers and a shirt with a collar.
Right.
Hi, KB.
Hey, KB. How you doing, girl? Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey.
We're just back at it again. The treehouse murder.
Well, because the part 2, trial number 2 for Ty begins in about a week and a half.
Yep.
So we're warming back up and trying to figure out what's going on there. But I don't think Todd had anything to do with anything. Now, Travis, I don't believe. Travis, I think, is doing whatever the cops want him to do.
Yeah, he was facing the same charges. Oh, 5 years for murder? Oh, okay. It's just scary to think.
Well, but the cops can manipulate people.
Why are they going after Ty, though? Well, you know what?
That's what I don't get.
We're never going to find out. We're never going to find out why Travis and Detroit are going after Ty. So it's pretty much Ty
Or the prosecutors and the judge.
Yeah. It's Ty against everybody except for Todd.
Well, and Todd knew him, so
he would know.
He would know if it was him. How can you have Paula and Todd, who were there at the time that this attack was happening? 2 of them that were attacked, of the 3 that were attacked, or 4 that were attacked, 2 of them are saying it was not him.
And Todd, to this day, he's still traumatized by this.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yep. Can you, survivor's guilt, I bet, his best friend?
Oh, yeah.
Or close
Absolutely.
friend. 30 years, and then Paula.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad.
KB, what are you up to? We're just kind of doing a refresher because we've been in contact with a couple people from the case. But things that we won't talk about because I'm not going to ruin anybody's chances for anything.
What are you going to school for, KP?
Oh.
What kind of homework you got? What you going to be when you grow up? Oh, good for you. We need you.
Oh, nice.
We know people, Kit. We know people.
We do. We know peoples. I got another lady that watches me. She's becoming an RN. So we got our RN.
Yes, and our paralegal friend. I know. I hope so. We need more good people in there.
Yep.
Somebody is very barky. I don't know why.
He he has something to say, I guess.
He's being a little furry pain in my butt today.
So there isn't really much about that concerns me about Todd
No,
at all.
no.
He doesn't know a damn thing.
And I like that,
He
you
makes
know,
sense, because remember we thought he knew more. You know what I mean?
but he kind of did know more. He kind of did add some perspective to things, his testimony and everything that we just watched. I mean, he did have some insight because he's the one who saw the man going away from the scene that took the mask off. He saw what he looked like. So I mean that tells you something.
It's like they have had tunnel vision on Todd this whole time.
Yeah, but I want to understand why.
Right.
I want to understand why. And why all the female people were all involved with each other and hiding things and being shady and, you know, running their narrative. I mean, who do they think they are?
I don't know. And we'll finish it up with this video here. This is when this just got put out by Ty's wife. Hold on. Is this it? Yeah. Travis goes to jail. That's what it says. Travis goes to jail.
Danielle Malone's body cam.
Hey Travis, I know we patted you down. I know we patted you down earlier. I didn't do a full search. Good deal.
Ground floor.
Got it?
Yeah, I was hoping that wouldn't want to.
They won't let you put his way?
They won't even let me put him in, they let me put him in,
They shouldn't. They won't.
oh.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for respecting me and treating me.
See, they don't know how to operate cameras.
What's that? Oh, yeah, that would be.
Oh, we would have to go through this.
Yeah, could you just closer, right? Hold on, just give me for a second. One second.
And he only did it even open.
Yeah, neither one of us are
They
qualified
wouldn't.
to answer that.
Right, well, they wouldn't let me have one, so.
But you know what the captain said about making sure you're staying in good contact with your defense lawyer, because he's the one who's going to be able to tell you that stuff and help you with that stuff too.
I would love to get a hold of Travis.
Well, there's a trash. Yeah, I told you. Go ahead, focus.
Yeah, okay, we got it, man.
Yeah. Agreed. We've been here already. A couple more minutes. They come. They don't.
You finally given up, haven't
They
you?
don't really get in a hurry up there anyways. Yeah, well, I've put the word out to the people that I need to put the word out and do whatever they can for me, for my keys for the truck and I told them to contact you.
Okay.
I doubt I just don't remember that picture. And hopefully I can get my truck somewhere because if Shayla from Detroit, hopefully she can make my truck payments and my insurance payments with my disability while I'm still in jail.
Yeah.
Because they won't stop my disability. It's after 90 days. They reduce it. They don't stop it. They reduce it to $90 so that I have sustenance.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Takes a little while. Maybe 6 months out. I don't know, I've only heard stories.
Right.
I've never even been around people that have done this before. You know? I knew I was doing this. If I would have just gotten out there a day sooner or something, you know. I was trying to help.
Yeah. As soon as he's done with that cigarette, open the back. Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Thanks, Charles. Sheriff's Office, mail arrest, negative weapon. You bringing them up from the release? Yes. You said mail? Yes, the mail. Stand by, let me see. They just bringing one from the other side.
They're not letting them in.
I don't get to do this part very often because no one's so warm or something. So I never get to do it.
Quit mumbling.
You jumped on that.
Yeah, you got to get on your channel, KB.
All right, it's clear. Thank you.
All right, first step, man. All right. We get through this. You will.
The most comforting thing is knowing that I wrote she does
Well, I want to see him put the camera on Todd. See, or Travis. They don't know what they're doing today, Grandma.
Barbara, can you search these two real quick? The other one first. Yeah, that one here first.
Yeah, this one first. That room? Anything on you? What's up?
$11.25.77.
What you doing? Doing all right. You all right? Yeah. So is this where Marathon hangs out now? Yeah. Well, he's been here since like 4 o'clock this afternoon. So I was in a DUI habit.
No, I got softer disorder.
So
I
there's
keep
that.
typing and YouTube won't let me put what I want in the chat.
And they get like that, don't they?
Bastards.
So, in my opinion, Todd has nothing to do with this whatsoever. He's
No.
very honest, and he was just in a horrible situation. And the next one I want to tackle, Grandma,
Yeah.
is Detroit. I know.
Well, as we know, he is a dangerous person.
Very.
And he's a scary person, and we need to tread lightly.
No, I mean, as in watch his interviews.
Yes.
Yes.
But when we do that, we need to be careful about our opinions.
Definitely. I think I did pretty good today.
You did good today.
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 All right. What do you think, Grandma?
I'm thinking it was really good to review that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we covered the Todd stuff, because now I don't have as many questions in my mind.
Nope, I don't either.
I think that satisfied my questions that I had about him.
Right.
And what he knew.
In my opinion, you're never going to find out who the other person is.
Well,
they drop the charges on Ty.
They need to.
Yes, definitely.
Because they just don't have enough to stand on. They really don't. And it's it's persecution. They're absolutely persecuting him without reason. We don't. Thank you, KB. Because if they had something solid on him, he would be locked up already, and he would stay locked up. They don't have DNA, they don't have fingerprints, they don't have witness that say it could have been him or anything. They're all saying it wasn't him.
Right.
And the only one that's really, really, really flaky is Travis.
Right.
Because Travis is like, well, if I say Ty did it, can I go home?
No, that was Rory that said that.
Rory said that.
Yeah, Rory said that.
Yeah, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Well,
Hi, can I go home?
yeah, that's all you care about then, huh? Not the truth necessarily. You just want to go home.
Right.
He wasn't going home. He murdered somebody, and his blood was everywhere, and her blood was everywhere.
Ugh. Crazy.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
And then for him to get a $2 million bail, that is unheard of.
Right? It was punitive.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, we don't want you getting away, so we're going to put your bail so high you'll never be able to get there. But, you know, they didn't know about Lauren.
Yep. So
Well,
there's that.
There's that.
So yes, people.
Good review today.
Yep. March 12th, or is it the March
11th.
The
I thought you
11th.
said 11th.
The 11th at, hold on, 9 a.m.
Oh, they're always at 9 a.m.
Yep, 9 a.m.
Oh, nice.
I bet you know what, they'll try to, I bet you know what that Dan Mansfield will do? Ban cameras in the courtroom. You watch.
He's not going to be the same prosecutor, is he?
I think so.
No, how can they even have him be in there? He was so disgusting.
It was. He keeps looking at me.
Well, you think that's funny that he was such a wussy about everything.
I did.
I know that's what gets you, but that's not what got me. I thought you disrespectful piece of crap.
Yeah, that too.
That
but
is not how an attorney is supposed to act. An attorney for the state is not supposed to behave that way that he acted. Oh,
well,
my
and
goodness.
he used to be a judge for a year.
He should know better then.
Yeah.
How he behaved. He made it very personal.
I think he got treated like shit even from the
I think
judge.
he got bullied when he was little. Get over
No,
yourself.
I mean, Ty. He
Oh.
got treated like shit in the courtroom. They didn't like that he represented himself.
Well, yeah.
But
Absolutely, KB. Unethical, unprofessional. I said that earlier about the guy. He's unethical.
yes, you have.
He made things very personal. It was totally unacceptable to me. I didn't like it. Every time he opened his mouth, it was some bitter little pukey comment, and you just wanted to, go over and smack him one because he was such a jerk.
I don't even think Ty objected once. Do you recall him ever objecting?
I'm not positive. I thought he did like once, maybe twice, but it was, they were just gonna shoot him down no matter what he did.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was so obvious. It was so blatant that they were just against him. And I just don't want that Mansfield being back in there.
Well, what I'm going to do, no matter what, and hopefully they drop all these charges, which would be smart, okay? Because it's just wrong. But I'm going to continue on the mission of exposing the corruption of Penny Phelps, Colleen Dunn, and Matthew Pitcher.
Well, you also need to involve Danielle.
Oh, God, yeah, Danielle. How could I forget about Danielle?
She and Penny were like two little peas in the pod working that together. And a lot of times Danielle was quiet and just let Penny run over everybody because of her position. And I get that. But
Yeah.
a good cop would say, now, hold on, we need to roll that back a little bit.
Do you remember
Because
during the deposition where Matthew Pitcher says he's seen Colleen and Penny embrace each other outside the courtroom? You remember that?
I remember right before that part where I was saying those two were together.
I know.
Them two were lovers. I knew it.
No, you.
And then they said it. And then they said it, and you and I just like exploded. We're like,
I know. I'm like, oh my God, you're right.
well, how can you work together like that when you are obviously have a history of personal
Relations?
involvement, shall we say?
They
And
should
is that not a conflict of interest when you are in a courtroom?
And what's her name shouldn't have even been involved in interview with one of the peoples. Who was that? Oh, Big Ben, is it? Or Big Scott? Big Scott.
Big Scott.
Yeah, Big Scott.
Yeah.
And why was she on the phone? She had no right asking questions.
Hey, hey, KB, what state would that be in that county be in? What state?
It's Monroe County.
You are kidding me.
No.
KB?
Oh, no. I thought you were, never mind, Grandma.
No, sweetheart, no. KB says she's got a sheriff department there that she knows is corrupt and maybe she needs to investigate that. Kentucky, McCracken County.
You're in
Kentucky.
Tennessee, aren't you? Or Kentucky. Oh, there you go. She's from there.
See, this is what I'm seeing everywhere. I'm seeing this stuff everywhere. Where sheriff's departments over police departments, even the sheriff's departments are worse.
Yeah, that's scary, ain't it? Wasn't you that said the sheriffs have a lot of power?
They do have a lot of power because it's the whole county. It's their county.
Okay.
And the police departments are only within their city limits. If it's outside city limits, it becomes a sheriff issue.
Okay.
So they have a lot of power.
I will look into your county.
I am. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, I like to do new stuff. You know what I mean, Grandma? Don't you?
Yes, and I don't know if you know this about me, but I watch a lot of those First Amendment auditors.
I used to.
I watch a lot of those, and I know which states I would never live in. I'll tell you that much.
I used to watch it all the time until I started doing my own videos.
Well, yeah, because you got to invest time in yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do watch those, and I'll tell you, I would never live in Arizona.
Arizona? Really?
I'd never live in Arizona. I've never seen such corrupt cops in my life.
Yeah.
And even here in Florida, the south part of Florida, really bad. Not up here, not up north here.
There's a live I want to do, another live, of course, of Sheila D. from Butler County, Mark Dobbs.
Oh.
Where her husband, ex-husband, they're going through a child custody battle. Well, he was able to shoot her in the car. He was able to grab her her phone, touch her before the cops got there. And then the cops felt bad for him. And 10 years later, nothing's been done to the man. So,
I'm getting really tired of that in our country, aren't you, ladies?
Yeah. And so I talked to her not too long ago, and she asked me to share her story again. I said, not a problem.
Ooh, read KB's message.
Which one? The last one?
Yeah, my son one, yeah.
My son was stopped at a traffic issue, and within minutes, what?
Yeah, and they find out, but they'll plant that shit. I've seen videos of them planting shit too.
Yes.
I have seen that. Don't think they won't.
That's why I always turn on your camera. I tell everybody that. Keep your camera on all times. At all costs, people.
Yep. But they'll turn them off. I mean, they do, and then they don't get in trouble for it.
They're not supposed to, though. They're not supposed to touch your phone.
They aren't supposed to touch you or your effects because that's your Fourth Amendment right.
Right. And they found nothing.
The lamest thing that I have found, honest to God, the lamest excuse for pulling people over, usually people of color, I have to tell you, is window tint. If they got nothing else to say, your window tint is too dark. But you know what? You go check the window tint in those cop cars.
Exactly.
Theirs are darker than yours, but they can give you a ticket for it. Per window, 100 and something per window.
They used to pull my ex over all the time. Okay. He was a biker, and they didn't like him.
Well,
Don't ask me why, okay? Don't ask me why. And he made him on the highway take off his tint right in front of them.
Oh, because it was not manufacturer put on, it was by people, put on by people.
And then after that, talking about the lift on his truck at another time. I'm like, oh my God, this is craziness.
That's insanity. But like KB is saying, you know, or they say that they smell weed that's not in the car. You know, that's always their go-to. Oh, well, gee, why do I smell marijuana in your car? Well,
Or
it's because you're a corrupt pig. I don't know.
right. I'm gonna look in her county now. That's got me interested. I've never heard of
McCracken.
it.
McCracken. McCracken, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm really tired of this in our country. I got to tell you, I'm mad. I want our country to go back to what it was like when we were growing up, and you could actually walk somewhere without getting mugged or shot or something. It's freaking crazy. You know, we need to build more prisons, and we need to have people out there who are here, you know, unjustly. They need to be doing some work for our country.
Exactly.
Infrastructure. All this money went for infrastructure. Remember that? Where's our infrastructure? Our roads still suck. Our bridges are falling down everywhere. We don't have enough prison room for everybody.
I got some strong views on that, and I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
No, there's nothing wrong with having an opinion. If
It'll
you
get
don't
me
agree
in
with me,
trouble.
I'd rather you tell me.
It's not being disrespectful. It's just a fact. Okay.
What's disrespectful?
Well, things that I would say about what's going on in our country right now.
Well,
because let me
a
tell you
lot of
something.
things are disrespectful to our country.
Take care of our own. Number one.
Yes,
2, take care of our vets.
I'm real
Okay.
passionate about that.
Yes.
38,000 homeless veterans in this country. You can't take care of them, but you're going to give everybody that walks over that border illegally $1,000 a month plus medical. Don't make me sick.
Oh, it pisses me off. You don't.
Oh, me
need to
too.
know.
It's wrong.
I can't even watch the videos of it. I was in GLR's chat. This is when it first started happening in Texas. And I'm like, how could you stand there? Because they would get across the border, right? And
Yeah.
they would start clapping and, hey, doing that shit. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
And like these jerks that came over here illegally, beating up on the cops in New York.
Oh,
and
did
they
you
and
that?
they let those suckers right out again, and then they had to go get them again. And they're all flipping off our cameras. Get out of our country.
Exactly.
Put a
This is a
tracking
heated-
chip in those bastards.
This is a heated thing. And
It
I've
is.
had a friend of mine on here, me and her kind of exchange words, but I was being respectful, okay? I want to understand why you think all this is okay. What about our own people, okay? Especially our veterans. I'm huge about our veterans.
Nala is pissed.
My dad just walked in. Hold on.
Oh. Nala ain't having it. Yes, KB, I'm telling you. They get funds, they get healthcare, they get jobs, they get money, food stamps, education. Give me a break. I have put into the system my entire life, and I fall between the cracks because my situation is a little odd. So I don't get healthcare. And it makes me mad. They want to charge me at the bare minimum now, $885 a month for medical for myself. That's what I would have to pay for a private thing. And I'm beyond pissed too. Because I've paid into this system. I raised my own children. I didn't put them in a daycare. I raised my own children. They are both contributing, big money making computer nerds, and they're good people. And I cannot get medical. I wouldn't care if I could get on state medical and I still had to pay $400 a month. I could probably swing that, okay? But I cannot pay $900 a month for the shittiest medical that they are just giving away to everybody. And all these homeless vets are out there, forget it. I can't stand it. The disrespect for our service people, men and women who have actually fought in these different wars that they didn't want to fight in, but they believed in our country. No, I can't get Medicaid. And I can't get Medicare for 6 more years. I'm not old enough. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to I mean, I have to pay for all my meds out of pocket, my doctor visits out of pocket. I had to go to the ER, and that cost 10 grand. I'm not joking. It cost 10 grand. And I'm not working because I'm taking care of everybody. So I don't have an income, so I can't get Medicaid. I have to get a job in order to get Medicaid. But I'm taking care of 3 adults who are elderly or, disabled. I moved from Washington State to Florida so that I could take care of people. And, I appreciate you that you're saying that. It is a sorry thing. I'm sorry for our country. I always felt proud of this country. I believe we should be saying the Pledge of Allegiance in schools. I'm old school that way. It made us feel good when we were kids to say the Pledge of Allegiance. We kind of woke up to it, and when we got to school in the morning when we were little kids, we were all together, accepting each other as Americans because of that. It didn't matter where the kids came from. We were all American kids because we all said the same Pledge of Allegiance to our country. And they've taken God out of everything. What do we expect to happen in this country? Makes me very sad. Why can't I get Medicaid? Because you don't work? Yeah, that's why. I have to work. And so I would have to not be available when these folks need me. And trust me, if you knew how often I have to drop everything and go do something for somebody else that can't do for themselves. But I would have to go get a job. See, and I've discussed this with them, and they're like, no, we don't want you to get a job. You have enough going on. You're doing enough. It's like, I don't feel like I'm contributing now, So now my ex-husband, who lives with me still, interesting situation. That's part of the problem. If we were married, we wouldn't have that kind of situation. But he says he doesn't really want me getting a job because then I won't be there. And he really does need someone there. How do you know people that are on it and don't work? Because I have access to my ex-husband's money, his finances, because I pay the bills and stuff with his money and whatnot. I guess they consider that a resource for me, like I would just be out spending his money on nothing for myself. I don't know. I don't understand it myself. It's really ridiculous. I just feel sorry for people like myself who are good people who do deserve to have some kind of coverage, that we cannot afford to get anything even for minimal, like prescription coverage or a doctor visit once every 3 months or something. You're not trying to be in my biz. I don't care. Truth is truth. And that's what they're doing to me. So I don't have any problem speaking truth. I used to worry about that crap when I was young. I don't anymore. I don't give a crap. I just want people to understand what they are doing in this country is wrong. It's really crappy. And then they're going to give it away to everyone else. And it's, and here's we've got homeless veterans. I see them disabled, and I see them alone and on the streets. It makes me sick. I myself, I have enough to eat and I have a roof over my head. So I try to give to the local food bank here. We have a very small town, but there's still food insecurity here. So I try to, get my mom to do it too, because mom's got a pretty good wallet. And then me and mom will go and give $100 a piece or something to the food bank so that people can eat. It is going to shit, but we have to do what we can. And speaking out is honestly the only thing that I can really do right now. It is going to shit. Got a lot of people that, want to blame one side or the other, for it. But it's not just our political parties that are the problem, because our political parties are not really in control of this country. We went to the food bank a couple times when my kids were growing up. I mean, because I was staying home with the kids, and my husband was working, but sometimes he'd get like laid off for a while because work was slow, and then we'd have to go to the food bank because, you know.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all right, sweetheart. We're just having a talk.
Okay, because my dad don't understand being on live. He was being funny though. He was swearing. I go, don't worry, I got you on mute.
That's all right. We're just talking about what needs to be fixed in this country, and you know.
And I want to say this. If you notice, a lot of crime that's happening or murders, guess where they come from?
They're coming from outside this country.
Yes, they are.
The criminals are coming in here.
You get criminals that are running from murder in their country and then come here and murder again.
Well, that's what's happening
It's
here.
not okay. And then, did you hear some politicians? This is not a crisis. Really? You're kidding me.
Oh, yeah, like the border. It's not a crisis. Yeah, it's not a crisis. Give me a break. And did you know? Okay, can I vent just for a minute?
Go
about
ahead.
the border?
I love venting.
All right. The other day, Biden went to the border and Trump went to the border on the same day,
Oh my
on
God.
Thursday. Only Trump went where the border was a huge problem, and Biden did it, and it was all sanitized where he went.
Okay.
And nobody's getting across right then. You see what I'm saying? He didn't see anything, no problem. So they got him all snowed because he doesn't have a brain left in his head. Poor old guy.
Poor old guy. Sleepy Joe.
Well, I mean, it's not his fault that he's being a puppet for people.
Right.
But then Trump goes and he's there with Greg Abbott, who is the governor there, and he's the guy in the wheelchair. You may have seen him. And he and Trump, yeah, he is an idiot. Yes, he is. But they're sitting there talking about all the things that have happened. They're showing him pictures. They're showing him photographs of just, waves of people coming across and what they're doing to stop them, and, how the government is trying to stop them from protecting their own state. And Abbott doesn't care. He's going to protect the state of Texas.
Yeah.
He don't care. They put triple barbed wire stuff up there, man. These guys figure out how to cut it all and get through it. You got to have a wall. It's the most effective thing.
And then you sit there and see people saying, what are some of these people saying that's all for the migrants, as they call them now? Something about, I can't remember. Shoot.
What I said?
What are we supposed to have? Not compassion. What's the word that they're using out there? I don't know. I can't remember.
What sympathy for them?
Yeah, pretty much. Take a look at in our own country, and I'm really strong about our military.
Our military, no one wants to join the military anymore because of what our government is doing with our money and our military. No one wants to join the military anymore. And I don't think it's so much that, KB. I don't think it's the age. I think it's the competency. But I think, well, it isn't the age. It isn't that he's, well, no, listen, listen to me. If he was 81 years old, and if he still had his brains were, rolling around and he could hold a conversation, or he could find his way off stage, that would be one thing. Because let's face it, Trump is only like 5 years younger, but he can do a million things in his head, and he knows numbers and people and situations, and he knows absolutely everything he's ever said about anything. His brain is still working in there. Joe is not. And I think it's elder abuse, that what they're doing to him. It's embarrassment. It's the biggest embarrassment this country has ever had, my opinion.
I want to show you something real quick. I'm going to get off the subject for a minute, but you got to see Ty's got like a thing here. his education, Monroe County Detention Center. For
Pretrial
education.
detention.
For education.
Maximum security. Well, probably because he finished his high school or whatever, you know.
Isn't that funny though?
Yeah, and Arizona State. See, he did that online. Arizona State University's online.
Yeah.
Sent to Arizona College. That was probably out when he was out. Secondary education. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, he is a character.
Yeah, pretrial detention. He was learning while he was in there getting his education, for sure.
And obviously he did a good job because look at a mistrial.
I was actually impressed with the job he did.
I know. Remember, we were so nervous for him to take the stand.
Well, because, famous thing about a fool being their own attorney.
I know.
You don't really want to do that. It's better to have somebody you trust. But, if you can't find somebody that you trust, then do it yourself if you know better than they do.
Okay, from my understanding, I'm not 100%. I think Ty said 9 or 1 juror held out for guilty. 1.
Yes.
1.
That's why, yes, it was not unanimous because of one person.
Yep. Isn't that crazy? I heard they were going to change that, but who knows?
Well, that'd be interesting. Oh, God. The adage that a man who is his own lawyer has a fool for his client. Yes.
Okay, you ready to wrap this one up?
I am. I'm about ready to jump down out of the studio.
Okay. Thank you so much for being up here. I love you.
Oh, you're welcome. I love you right back. Anytime.
Okay, girl. Hey.
It was good to see you,
Yes,
KB.
girl. Slay.
Slay.
Slay, girl.
Bye.
Bye. So, okay, the other cases, I got a case. Someone came to me. It's a Missouri case. And this case is using on how they got away with this. It has to do with a mentally handicapped patient in prison and his brother. And then there's another one, Sheila D's case. And then this case, of course, we're going to refresh our brains again. And I want to go over Detroit stuff and whatever else we find. But KB, thank you for being here. Everybody, thank you for watching. And have a good one.